There are many ways to die in this game, and they're all hilarious, and I'm going to be showing you all of them starting here in the beginning, in Merlin's room. So let me look at the table. Here I conduct my delicate experiments in alchemy. The table is covered with beakers and flasks, so I'm going to try to take his stuff here. The lodestone is the only object in this room which you may take. The rest belongs to Merlin the Enchanter, and you are not to lay hands upon them. But you must excuse an old man. I have forgotten where I put the lodestone. It is around here somewhere. Search if you like, but do not touch anything else. So of course I'm going to try to take the flask again. By the red dragon, I will not warn you again. Do not lay hands upon anything that is not meant for you. So of course we're going to take the flask. He turns us into a dog. Since you cannot keep your hands to yourself, you can do without them for a while. When you apologize, I will consider returning you to your native form. Scratching some fleas. Fine, let's apologize, let's apologize. That pathetic whine tells me you are sorry, but do not do it again. Ah, psych, I'm gonna take the flask. It would seem you refuse to learn a lesson. Be gone from my sight! Next, if you try to leave without praying to the gods before doing so, this happens. It is terribly unwise to start a sacred mission without the blessings of the gods. Now recall, not only do you have to pray, but you also have to give them an offering. But I ain't paying no tithe. The word ain't sounds familiar, yet I cannot fathom your purpose in it. So if you don't pay and you try to get out of the castle, you'll meet a similar fate. One does not get far when the gods are offended. Now you could please one of the gods, but not the other. So this time I'm praying to Mithras, but not to Jesus. Sorry, Jesus. And as always, if you try to leave, Christ will not be happy, okay? The Christ God does not like being ignored. His vengeance is swift and final. Likewise, if you pray to Jesus, but not Mithras, you will also meet a terrible fate. Ah, Mithras, no gold for you! Alright, well, let's get out of here. I don't know, man. I'm trying to be comical, okay? Give me a break. If you try to go, you'll also meet revenge. Alas, Mithras is a bad god to offend. Remember this in your next life. Now here, you may remember, is the first action sequence of the game, and you can let the boar gore you instead of you throwing your spear at it. So if you just stand there, of course, that's not good. So many kings have died to a boar in real life. The boar has gored you to the core. Alas, King Arthur is no more. And here you can try to eat some mushrooms. They are dangerous. Leave them be. Try again. Seems like a great idea. And King Arthur is going absolutely bazonkers right now. Of all the stubborn fools there be, I never saw such a fool as thee. You shall keep yon knight good company, and nourish the roots of old Father Tree. Next, you can die to the Black Knight. The Black Knight has unhorsed you for the first time, Arthur. Make it the last. So yeah, if he gets you 3 times, you die. Beware, the Black Knight has struck a second telling blow against you. And death comes at the tip of his spear. Alas, all Camelot will grieve to hear that the valiant King Arthur was slain by the Black Knight.
Halt! Ye shall not pass me unhindered, king though ye be, and if ye give me not what I desire, a stone ye shall be.
So if you draw your sword,
put up thy sword, put it away this instant, or ye shall become a stone. Ye shall never move again unless ye offer me what I desire.
So try to draw the sword again.
No man can best me with cold steel. Pay the price for thy arrogance.
Get turned to stone, that's right. What a hag. Defeated by an ugly crone, from mortal man to standing stone, with sun and rain upon you blown, through craven locks the wind shall moan. Here you will be through years unknown, and slowly crumble when time has flown. And of course, you can die to the monks. Just kind of run by them and they'll club you. They'll club you to death. It actually takes a while for them to get you.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill, kill.
Your skull is cracked, your body dead. Your brains are gone, your spirit fled. The monk played tag upon your head. And if you're not careful here on the ice and you take wrong steps, clearly you're gonna fall in. Across thin ice you dare to tread. 'Tis no surprise that you are dead. If you draw your sword here,
Do you think to threaten me with the very sword I gave you from my own hand? Once only will I tolerate this, or you will suffer the fate of Lancelot.
if you want to die in this game, just be stubborn.
You should have heeded my warning.
As icy fingers seize your spine and coldness numbs your brain, you wish instead in battle hot you nobly had been slain. Alas, your ears are filled with ice, you hear not my sad refrain, a frozen statue of despair in winter's hard domain. So next up, remember that we did gamble with the Ice Queen for this quiz, so that if we get it wrong, we meet the same fate as Lancelot. So this is another way to die. Get the question wrong.
You have failed. The price must be paid.
And there we go, another icy tomb. Now here, well, you can just walk off the pier. Your armor and steel drags you to the bottom, and there you will lie until you are rotten, soggy and pulpy, and truly forgotten. So now you can try to sail to other locations besides Gaza, so let's try to go to Rome. And all sorts of sea voyages here can lead to untimely ends. That poor meal, man. I love the sailing music. Many days and nights pass in cramped discomforts. The coastline of Muslim-held Iberia glides past. You land briefly in Tunis, ruled by the Muslims of Aghlabid Emirate under the Abbasid Empire. Soon you will reach Rome. Approaching Rome, your ship is caught in a powerful storm. You are washed overboard and your armor quickly drags you to the bottom of the sea. Yeah, don't go to Rome. That's the lesson. Let's try to go to Thessalonica. And again, you do have to pay the fare instead of actually typing sail to. I'm just kind of showing where the journeys can take you. And again, that poor meal. It didn't sign up for this. It didn't sign up for a death episode. The skilled captain beats past the Celtic Brittany with all speed thanks to good winds. At Malaga, you get your first sight of those who worship Islam. Their manners and dress are strange to you, yet they are hospitable to any man who worships the one God, no matter by what name he is called. In Tunis, the worshippers of Allah seem much the same, but are ruled instead by the Aghlabid Emirate under the Abbasid Empire. As you approach Athens, a corsair filled with Saracen pirates overtakes your ship. You fight like the great warrior you are, but the Saracens are many and merciless. You are finally cut down and thrown to the fish. Alright, this time let's try to sail to Dublin. Get some good old Irish ale. I don't know. Well, you should know by now that we're not even going to make it. We're not going to make it. Neither is the poor meal. The poor meal, a third death for the meal. Ooh, I like the little music. Nice. Captain beats his way expertly up St. George's Canal towards Dublin. Alas, a longship of crazed Vikings falls upon your ship. Excalibur sings from its sheath and does mighty work. The decks run red, but you are overwhelmed and killed in combat with a berserker. Ah, the Vikings. Alright, Mr. Meal, where are you going today? To Rennes. Alright. Now, if you were the meal, what would be worse? All of these repeating deaths? Or what actually happened in the game where you get sold to some really weird guy in the market that was a little too infatuated with you? I don't know. A quick voyage brings you to the northern coast of Brittany, where you are tragically dashed to death upon jagged rocks. Wow, that was quick. Okay, On the other end of the journey, you can also fall off. Your armor and steel drag you to the bottom, and there you will lie until you are rotten, soggy, and pulpy, and truly forgotten. Now, if you try to head back before this guy leads you to Jerusalem, it's not a good idea. You should not think of returning to Gaza, Arthur. If the Mukhtar's man finds you, it will mean your life. And of course, you have to be stubborn to die. Why do you refuse to listen to good advice? Yep, that's Arthur's head. See, now you have gone and lost your head, but I am sure the Mukhtar's men will find use for it. To adorn a spike, no doubt. And here, if you remember, the water is poisoned, as evidenced by the camel's skeleton. So you can try to drink from it. Arthur, something terrible is happening to you. Too late, the signs are clear. This water is poisoned. It killed the camel who had not the sense of your meal, but then again, neither did you. To add insult to injury, the scoundrel Jabir robs your corpse. Now you can scare him away as well with your sword. Jabir does not like the sound of your steel being drawn. You have set Jabir to his heels. Let us hope that will be the last of him. You have no strength to spare. So now, unfortunately, you are lost in the desert. And here, Jabir is actually hiding in these caves, and if you walk around enough in this screen, he'll kind of pop out of the shadows and get you. I think it's based on the number of steps you take, so that's why I'm just kind of perusing around here. This treacherous false guide has claimed yet another victim. Would that you have been a bit quicker with your sword on this occasion. Here you can fall off the canyon. You have managed to stumble off the crumbling edge and crack open your head upon a rock. What a shame. And in this screen there are a ton of rattlesnakes. And ominous music. Your mule has had sense to run away from the cobras. Arthur, beware, the cobra prepares to strike. This valley is filled with cobras. Turn back, Arthur. You will never pass here alive. Did I not warn you? This valley may truly be called Dead End, especially for you. So yeah, there are many places you can get lost at in the desert. Eventually, when you walk around enough, Arthur, you must find water soon or you will perish. You get that warning. And if you just keep walking, you eventually die. You can see that Arthur's demeanor changes. He's a little bit hunched over. He physically looks weak. Start seeing mirages. Images shimmer and appear in the veils of rising heat. It is Guinevere and Lancelot embracing. This image is but a vision of your own fears and jealousies, driven to the surface by your fervent, desperate brain. Not good. Not only are you gonna die to the elements, but you also envision your wife with another man as you're going out. Your mule is suffering from lack of water. That poor mule. It suffers so much in this game. Another mirage there with the pool. And again, I think this is based on the number of steps you take. But eventually, poor Arthur can take no more. Alas, you did not find water in time. You die as parched as a piece of old leather, and soon your bones will adorn the sands. To add insult to injury, the scoundrel Jabir robs your corpse. Over here, where you do find water, you can fall off if you're not careful. I doubt the natives will appreciate the mess you have made for them to clean up. In your next life, do be more careful about where you step. I could go down this place here. I don't know what you call this. A little cave. Go on a little adventure. As you can see, the screens get darker and darker. And the mule again is wise enough to not come in. I love how they contrast the stupidity of Arthur with the wisdom of the mule. At least in the deaths. It is now pitch black, deep inside the aqueduct. You are stumbling about dangerously on the roughly hewn floor. Arthur, what was that sound? Ah, as I feared. You have struck your head upon a low spot in the tunnel and knocked yourself out, fallen forward into the water and drowned. Not a very glorious end for the king of all Britons. You can pick a fight with these guys outside Jerusalem. Come closer, coward. Our swords thirst for your blood. Now we shall see how well an infidel dies. Die, infidel. I was going to make a remark about using your brains, Arthur, but since I see they are all over the ground, along with your blood, heart, kidneys, liver, lungs, and intestines, I guess there's no point. Be warned, infidel. Keep your sword sheathed, or we will tear you to pieces. You may not pass this way. Do not annoy us, infidel. You may not pass this way. Do not annoy us, infidel. I said you may not pass this way. You were warned, infidel. Ah! So this time, I'm actually going to try to pay them, but I'm going to pay them too much. Remember, we were warned not to pay too much around these parts. So I'm going to give him 1 gold. Ah, rich man. Die, infidel. So if instead of selling the meal, you give the meal, you would give me this excellent meal, Habibi. You are either a holy man or a madman. Still, you have my undying gratitude. I must hurry now and meet my caravan. May Allah guide you. And again, the suffering of the meal. This time, I didn't even sell it. I just gave it away. Oh, man. And by giving it away, it triggers a series of events. So now with that, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to try to leave the city through the gate. And we'll see what happens. There's little Joshua. Still don't know why she named him Joshua, but you know, it is what it is. You cannot pass this way. There is a thief loose in the bazaar, and many merchants are complaining the Jaffa gate will be locked while we search for him. We do not know who he is, but when we find him, he is a dead man. Now move along before we begin to suspect that you may be the thief. So indeed, if you return to this screen after that, we have orders to find a thief, and we have never seen you before. He must be the one. Kill him. Yikes. You die in poverty, mistaken for a common thief. In your next life, listen more carefully to Muhammad's hints. He is not short of a coin. Another sure way to die is to draw your sword in the market. You must not draw a weapon without good cause in this bazaar. The Muslims will not tolerate it, and there are many of them, and only one of you. Did I not warn you against this? But do you listen? Nay, you are too stubborn. Now you are reduced to shish kebab. In this screen, every once in a while, you can see a woman through the window here. And if she's there, a girl is inside, probably the butcher's daughter. And she is, Arthur. She's taking a bath. So you can try to be a weird peeping Tom. Have you no shame? She is naked. Avert your eyes quickly. And try to keep looking in there. It looks like someone is in there. And now the butcher is coming. Oh no. Pretty women always did go to your head, though seldom with such an impact. If you recall, Fatima will try to seduce you multiple times. First, she'll ask you to kiss her, and if you do oblige and try to kiss her, she'll start moonwalking towards you like this. Wow. Spectacular dancing, ma'am. Spectacular. And then this will happen. No, Arthur, no! My God, a murderer. Alas, you are helpless, completely under Fatima's fatal spell, and here's the reward for your weakness, being smothered to death by a perfumed pillow. How will I ever explain this to the queen? Tisk tisk. And again, you can kiss her after her second attempt at seduction.
By refusing my seductions, you have proven yourself to be a man of moral worth. But beware that you do not undo it all with a passing moment of weakness. If that is truly your wish, that is what you shall have of me.
a very passionate kiss, at least that. Oh no, he's getting strangled. My god, he's blue in the face. Alas, you are helpless, completely under Fatima's fatal spell, and here is the reward for your weakness, being strangled to death by Fatima. How will I ever explain this to the Queen and Lancelot? Arthur, beware the rats. Any closer and you will be bitten. A rat has bitten you. You may not feel the effects of its poison for a long time, yet the Hierophant warned that it means certain death. So you can keep getting bitten to accelerate the effect of the poison. Arthur, beware the rats. Any closer and they'll bite you. There's another one. Another rat has bitten you. The poison will now act twice as quick. So you just kind of have to walk around and eventually the poison will take effect. Or you can keep getting bitten to further accelerate the speed. This guy is truly crazy. What a horrible way to go. You have been bitten yet again. Now your time is truly limited. And again, let's go for the 4. Let's go for the 4. There he goes. He's done for. Alas, the rat's poison has taken its toll, and the cold hand of death has closed upon you forever. Now, if you face the Thing without the medallion, you're kind of screwed.
I smell warm blood in my flesh. Come closer. I have golden treasure. Come closer and see.
Do not go too close, Arthur. I beg you. A ghoul is not to be trusted. Wow. Just got scooped up, man. Alas, curiosity killed the king. Even the worms will go hungry by the time the ghoul is finished with you. If you recall, after Aphrodite's test, you must pick the right doors, but if you pick the wrong one, you die, of course. Nay, you have chosen wrongly. The door has shut behind you, trapping you within the pitch-black hole, scarcely larger than a coffin. And a stone coffin it is, for here you shall die all too soon. Farewell, King Arthur. You can also choose wrong at different locations. There's some slight variation in what happens, but essentially, you die. Your fate is sealed, as is this room. I cannot bear to remain and watch the slow, lingering death that awaits you within this dusty tomb. Farewell, Arthur. And same thing here, but at least you can die with your friend Sir Galahad. Your fate is sealed, as is this room. I cannot bear to remain and watch the slow, lingering death that awaits you within this dusty tomb. Farewell, Arthur. Nay, you have chosen wrongly. Now you are trapped within this room. By the time Galahad recovers, he will find you dead. I cannot bear to remain and watch. At least you die knowing that Galahad will live to carry on the mission, for the goddess has sworn to release him. Farewell, Arthur. I'm trying to show all of the variations here, but as you can tell, it's all the same principle. Your fate is sealed, as is this room. I cannot bear to remain and watch the slow, lingering death that awaits you within this dusty tomb. Farewell, Arthur. So for the final fight, you could just literally charge at the final boss here. Just charge at him. Interesting tactic, letting your opponent kill you without the least resistance. Not terribly effective for you, however. And you could also lose the fight. It is surprisingly difficult to lose this fight. That's why I'm speeding up the footage here. It's easy to take damage, but hard to actually lose. Oh, at least I got a nice decapitation there. My god. You have been hacked to death by the Saracen. Let us hope that you will be a better swordsman in your next life. So here I'm going to release the dove in a different screen. The stone dove feels oddly warm. 'Tis changing. By the power of Aphrodite, it turns into a living dove within your very hands.
Follow my dove, and you shall have your soul's desire.
So of course, we're gonna be stubborn. We're not gonna follow it. We're gonna disobey the goddess.
I warn you, mortal. Do not keep me waiting.
Oh, you're gonna wait. You're gonna wait your whole life, woman. If you make her wait enough, and then you finally go on through and try to talk to her.
I hate to be ignored, and by a mortal, it is too great an insult to bear.
Hell hath no fury like a goddess peeved. So once the thief has struck, you can choose not to follow him. And just dilly-dally around. Great work, Arthur. Great work. The behavior of a king. By all that is holy, you have dallied shamelessly as a thief has escaped. There is no hope for you, Arthur. You may as well fall upon your sword. Yeah, seppuku it is. Very tragic. Well, at last you have learned to take my advice. So by far, these are the most hilarious deaths in the game. It's such a troll. Because you find it. You find the Holy Grail. It is yours. King Arthur holds it in his hands. The kingdom is saved. But no, the Grail judges you for your past decisions, of which there were 3 that you had to make. 3 critical decisions to make you worthy of the Grail. Alas, the Grail has judged you and found you unworthy. Too great was the burden of sin upon your soul. You let Gawain die an ignoble death in the Forest Perilous. So way back towards the beginning of the game.
I laid the challenge before you. Will you joust for me for the life of Sir Gawain?
No.
You are a weakling and a coward. Gawain's life is mine and you are free to go.
And so the Grail will scorch you to death once you touch it, because this is just horrible. Just horrible. Let's take a look at what happened to poor Gawain. Not good. Let me take a look. The Black Knight has taken his life. Aye, well, you should tremble at the sight. This crime lies heavily upon your own soul and will never be cleansed, no matter how you seek to right it. Indeed. Or you could sacrifice Lancelot to the Ice Queen. You could use the Love Is My Shield spell to teleport yourself outside of the Ice Palace without having to do this minigame and save Lancelot. You can just walk away. Just leave him in there. He kind of deserves it, you know? He's smooching with your wife. And finally, you could have decided to not save Sir Galahad. And you could drink the elixir yourself instead of giving it to him. Wait, here lies Sir Galahad, purest of your knights. He has also been bitten and is at death's door. If you do not give him the elixir, he will die. He could die at any moment. A terrible choice is before you. If you drink the elixir, you let Galahad die. If you give Galahad the elixir, your one chance is to find the Grail before your own time runs out. Only the healing powers of the Grail may be able to save you. If not, at least Galahad would remain alive to carry on the mission. Yeah, I'm just gonna drink the elixir myself. Never have I felt such contempt for you as I do this moment. You have chosen your own life over that of Galahad, and now he is dead. Aye, do what you will with it. Though it will cure the poison, it will never cleanse you of a crime of noble Galahad's death. The elixir burns through your body, purging the poison. You are healed in body, but your soul is forever tainted. Failing to save any or all of the knights leads to this. And so your kingdom and all your poor people perish for lack of a king with moral strength. We end not in glory, but in bitter taste of ashes and dust and black defeat. Another quest has turned to dust, another feast for the worms. So that is it. Those are all of the deaths that you can experience in Conquests of Camelot. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you thought was the funniest or your favorite death in the game. I would have to say it's one of the ones where the Grail smites you at the end. Because it's like you played the whole game, and then something that you did way back comes back to haunt you. I think that's kind of funny. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the series. I appreciate all of you, and see you on the next game.
Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.